Hey guys, this is the video you've all been asking for. This is my top 10 movies of the decade. Sorry it's a day late, but happy 2020 to everybody. So in this, you're going to notice that I only have actual movies. I tried not to use any Netflix movies, but I did use 2 in 2019 because I didn't really see any of the newer movies. But I did try to keep Netflix movies out since it does have its own actual movies. If you notice, another thing is I'm going to be looking up and down. I do have a notebook here with all of them written on there, so I'm kind of just using that as my guide, so you're going to see me looking down a lot. And another thing is I do try to keep series and trilogies going, sequels and everything like that. I do try to keep it going. If it was continuing after 2010, you will notice that, like the Twilight series. But everything else, I do try to include the sequel. So here we go. We're going to get started at 2010. At number 1, we have The Ward. It is a very good asylum movie. And if you know me, you know I love scary movies, so you're going to see a bit of those on here. And number 2 is going to be Devil. Number 3 is Letters from Juliet. And at number 4 is Twilight Saga Eclipse. I did feel that this was one of the better movies that Twilight came out with. After Twilight and New Moon, which, in my opinion, New Moon wasn't that great of a movie. It was more of just a filler that nobody really needed. That's just my opinion. Don't come at me for that. Number 5 is Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. Number 6 is Tangled. 7 is Dear John. And number 8 is The Karate Kid. I thought that Jackie Chan and Jaden Smith did such a good job at this movie. So, at number 9 was How to Train Your Dragon. That's number 1. Out of the series. I felt that one was good, but just didn't deserve to be in the top 5 of my list, and it did really good on the character development. Number 10 is going to be Kick-Ass. So heading into 2011, at number 1 is going to be Grave Encounters. This is a really good scary movie. Guys, it, as they say, I believe it's based on true events, so if you guys love movies like that, like I do, please check that out. It does mess with your mind a lot. It is really good. Number 2 is going to be Beastly. Now, I think that Beastly was a really good movie just because it was more for the tween and teen part of the time frame then, because nobody wanted to be associated and called a little kid if they were watching Beauty and the Beast, but we weren't exactly like teenagers just yet. So I think that really fit in that time frame to teach us about just self-worth, you know. At number 3 is Twilight Saga Breaking Down Part 1. I did like the wedding scene in that movie. That was very good. At number 4 is Fast 5. And at number 5 is I Am Number 4. Number 6 is Cabin in the Woods. Now, if you guys haven't seen this movie, go check it out. It's not like your typical horror movie because everybody knows the order that you die in a horror movie, of course. But this one is a little bit different. And I like how you'll see other characters, or I shouldn't say characters, I should say more of creatures. I don't want to give away too many spoilers for these movies, but so if you guys haven't seen it, just go check it out. Number 5 is going to be Gnomeo and Juliet, and at number 8 is going to be Scream 4. I used to watch this all the time when I was younger with my best friend. Number 9 is going to be Bad Teacher, and at number 10 is going to be The Roommate. Heading to 2012, number 1 is Sinister. I put Sinister there because it was literally the only scary movie that can terrify me. And I love scary movies, so I am usually immune to all of them. But Sinister, when it comes to that movie, when I was younger, when I watched it, I could not sleep in my own bed for about 5 months. And I am not terrified to say that or scared to say it because I will tell anybody that. It is literally a scary movie. Number 2 is Twilight Saga Breaking Down Part 2. What pushed this over the edge to get higher than the other 2 Twilights on the list in their respective years would be the fight scene at the very end. At number 3 is going to be The Hunger Games. Number 4 is Silent Hill Revelation. And at number 5 is The Possession. And I put the Possession higher than what I have at number 6, which is The Collection, because it's based on true events. And I love movies that are based on true events. Number 7 is Brave. At 8 is Rise of the Guardians. At 9 is Abe Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. And at number 10 is Les Misérables. I have to get a mention out to Grave Encounters 2. I did not feel that it was good enough to be put on the top 10 because the movie just wasn't as good as the first one. So at number 13, I have Catching Fire for the Hunger Games trilogy at number 1, just because it was my favorite out of the Hunger Game movies. At number 2 is The Host, and at number 3 is Conjuring. Number 4 is going to be Riddick, and number 5 is After Earth. I think that Will and Jaden Smith did such a good job in this movie. At number 6 is Now You See Me. At number 7 is Fast 6. At number 8 is The Purge. 9 is R.I.P.D. And at 10 is Epic. Epic is more of a Thumbelina type of movie where it's the, you know, the really small people and whatnot. So in 2014, it was really hard for me to decide my top 3 and which one should be at just the top of all of it. And it wasn't really a good year for scary movies at all. So at number 1, I have The Maze Runner. At 2 is Divergent, and at 3 is The Giver. Now, all 3 of those really did deserve a spot at number 1, but I had to choose, obviously, for the sake of the list. At number 4 is Mockingjay Part 1 for the Hunger Games trilogy, and at 5 is Lucy. Number 6 is going to be The Fault in Our Stars, and number 7 is The Babadook. It was a really good movie, but it wasn't too much of a scary movie. It was more one that messes with your head. Number 8 is How to Train Your Dragon 2. At 9 is Box Trolls, and at 10 is Annabelle. I did like the movie, but it wasn't as scary as I thought it was actually going to be, as much as they advertised it to be. In 2015, we have The Revenant. I know I probably said that wrong. It's hard for me to pronounce it, but I have this at number 1 because I love Leonardo DiCaprio, and it was the first movie that ever got him an Oscar, even though he should have won a million beforehand. So that deserves a spot at number 1. Number 2 is going to be Fast 7. I just love the movie so much because I believe it's the one where they get Letty back. Number 3 is going to be The Scorch Trials from the Maze Runner trilogy. Number 4 is Insurgent from the Divergent series. And number 5 is Tomorrowland. 6 is Room. And if you guys haven't seen that movie, I'd check it out. It is really interesting. It's about a girl who's been kidnapped with her, and she has her son by her kidnapper, and they finally learn to escape. Number 7 is Jupiter Ascending. 8 is going to be 50 Shades of Grey. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of crap for that one, but I did really like the trilogy that was set for that. But if you notice, most of them are pretty low on my list. And number 9 is going to be Straight Outta Compton. I did end up watching that with my brother, and I thought it was a pretty good movie. And at number 10 in 2015 is Mockingjay Part 2. I did not like Mockingjay Part 2 just because of the fact that towards the middle of the movie, they were just killing people off to kill them off because they needed just the main characters for the end. And it was really kind of stupid in my mind of how they killed them off, and just the way that the movie ended, I did not like at all. In 2016, I have The Jungle Book, the live action. It was very good for it being one of Disney's first live action movies out. At number 2, I have Captain America Civil War because it was one of the first of the Avengers series, I guess you could say, that I did ever watch. So I thought it was pretty cool. And number 3 is going to be Deadpool. 4 is Zootopia, and number 5 is The Conjuring 2. I do sit there and I make fun of The Conjuring 2. I like to call the old man grandpa. So if you guys haven't seen that movie, at least with me, you have no reason to laugh at the movie till, you watch it with me. So Now You See Me 2 is going to be at number 6. At 7 is Suicide Squad. I did really like it, except for I, just like just about everybody else, didn't like Jared Leto's Joker. Number 8 is The Girl on the Train. It is very interesting for that movie. It's more of another mind movie, which I have a tendency to really like. And at number 9 is going to be Allegiant for the end of the Divergent series. It wasn't as good as the other ones, and just the way that the movie ended, I did not like. And at number 10 on that list is going to be Central Intelligence. Heading on to 2017, number 1 is Get Out. I really did like the movie and how they actually have, if I can remember correctly, they have him live at the end. So I did really like that. Number 2 is Baby Driver. And number 3 is The Kingsman Golden Circle. It was the first one I had ever watched, the Kingsman, series. So number 4 is going to be the remake of Jumanji. It was really good, but Robin Williams still has the better Jumanji. Sorry, but he does. Number 4 is going to be Thor Ragnarok. And number 5 is 50 Shades Darker. 7 is the live action Beauty and the Beast. 8 is going to be Logan. 9 is Smurfs Lost Village. And number 10 is Veronica. It is a scary movie. The only reason it is at 10 is it is entirely in Spanish, and I do not speak Spanish. So I had to have the subtitles on the entire movie. Now in 2018, at number 1, we have Black Panther. I just thought it was so good that, of how they had Black Panther, and that just the cast was really, really good. Number 2 is Aquaman, and that is sitting at number 2 just for the graphics and just the pretty colors that they added into it. Number 3 is going to be Avengers Infinity War. Number 4 is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. And number 5 is Creed 2. That was the first one that I've watched of the Creed series. So number 6 is Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, just because I had been waiting for a Mamma Mia, the sequel, for so long. I finally got it, so. Number 7 was 50 Shades Freed. Number 8 was Nutcracker in the Four Realms. I really did like how they put their own twist on the Nutcracker movie. Number 9 is The Incredibles 2, and number 10 is Goosebumps 2. Now, hitting off at, for 2019 is number 1, Shazam. I really did like that movie and how they didn't make the child grow up and understand the responsibilities right away of being a superhero. It was more from the kid's perspective, and it was just great that the way that they did that. Number 2 is going to be from the Netflix. It's When They See Us. I really did love that movie, and just the way that their story got told was amazing to finally know, because I didn't know much about it before this came out. Number 3 was Avengers Endgame. I really did like the very end fighting scene. It was one of my favorites. How to Train Your Dragon 3, A Hidden World, was very good, so that sits at number 4. At number 5, if you know me, I love scary movies. I also have a fascination with serial killers. Number 5 sits Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile, which is the movie that they did on Ted Bundy. Number 6 is Hobbs and Shaw, which is kind of a spin-off from the Fast and Furious movies. Number 7 is Zombieland Double Tap. That one was really good. I did enjoy it. Number 8 is Alita Battle Angel. And number 9, to end my list of 2019, because I did say I only had 9 for that, is Fighting With My Family. Now, the only reason Fighting With My Family is so low, and me being a wrestling fan, is because I was just more upset that the match that they actually had when Paige went for the Divas title was not the actual one that I did sit and watch on TV. Also, the person who played AJ Lee, who was one of my favorite, who is my top favorite Divas wrestler ever, she did not have AJ Lee attire on. It was more of Brie Bella's, and that made me really angry as a wrestling fan. And just the fact that we never got to see her win the NXT Women's Championship, even though she was the very first, made me really upset that we couldn't see that. So it sits at number 9. If I did have a 10th movie, it would sit at 10, or just not on the list at all. But I did think it was a really good movie, all in all, just because it showed more of the backstage things that we never got to see, but I wish they would have showed her win the championship, at least in NXT. So guys, that is my top 10 movies of the decade. I will try to have another video up of me doing some movie reviews. That will be in the next couple days. So I will see you all then. I love you all. See you later.